Headlines, highlights, the questions burning up the sports world get answered right here. This isn't just another recap. It's the sports answer. And leading the charge, sharp, fearless, and always bringing the edge, your host, Rudy Campos Jr. If you're talking sports, you better have the sports answer.
What is up, Sports Answer fans? Rudy Campos Jr. going to be joined by a very special guest today as we are getting into some Spurs Chisme talk. And the Chisme around town in San Antonio is this. The Spurs are the third best team in the league as of right now. But why are we doing so bad? We're going to get into the Spurs fans talk. That's the Chisme going around. We're going to talk to our special guest today, Jeff Garcia of Locked on Spurs, plus a sports answer question that was asked. And we're going to throw it at Jeff and see what he says about it, because it had me wondering, is it true that the Spurs have an unbreakable record and fans may not realize it? We'll get into that with Jeff here on the Spurs Chisme episode, a special Spurs Chisme episode of the Sports Answer. Shout out to Salem Surround, 210-526-3635. Proud sponsors of us here at the Sports Answer. You need that brand to be unbreakable and unbeatable. Call them today, Salem Surround, 210-526-3635. You guys ready for the Chisme? Well, let's get it going, guys.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs Chisme. Nine, por favor.
That is the Spurs Chisme branding right there. And look who we've got. We've got the special guest here, Jeff Garcia. You know him from Locked on Spurs. You know him from all the Comic Cons in San Antonio. San Antonio's biggest nerd and biggest Spurs guru. It is Jeff Garcia. Jeff, welcome back to the Sports Answer, man.
Thank you for having me back, Rudy. Good to see you. And Spurs have been kind of floundering of late, huh?
Yeah, they've been, well, you say floundering, but I mean, they haven't lost more than 2 games in a row. I think the Spurs fans are kind of like, oh my God, we lost to Minnesota. We had the lead and we got blown up. I mean, getting blown up by OKC, doesn't that happen on a regular basis for other teams? So why is it different for San Antonio?
Because the Spurs beat them 3 in a row, Rudy. Don't you remember? That's why.
I have a short memory. I think it's the old age in me, man, that's coming up to me. But, you know, as you did mention, Spurs lose 119-98, most recently to Oklahoma City. And again, the sky is falling, like we mentioned. Oh, my God, Spurs, you know, they've lost.
Over. Season's over.
Yeah, we were 3-0 going to OKC. Now we lose by 23 or whatever it was. I mean, come on, man. It's not over, Jeff, is it?
No. And remember, I think Tim Duncan also lost bad to the Lakers during their dynasty era.
Yeah.
So it happens to all the teams, whether it's the Wemby era, Robinson era, Duncan era, it all happens. Pick a rival, and guess what? That rival with the Spurs probably clobbered the Spurs during that period. But nevertheless, the Lakers, yeah. But nevertheless, it's what concerns me is not the loss to the Thunder. What concerns me is the recent play. They've been playing about 500 ball if you look at the last 8, but if you look at the last 6, they're well under 500. They're 2-4, and it's how they're losing. It's losing double figures leads, as we saw in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming out of halftime and getting stomped by the Thunder, but 40 to 20 something in that third. We're seeing that out of halftime malaise kick in again. It was gone for a while, but I believe in Minnesota and OKC, they came out flat. Also, too, what is concerning is overall, not specifically the Thunder game, but even leading into that Thunder game, the guard play. They just cannot make a bucket. That's Fox, that's Castle, and that's Harper. You can maybe forgive Harper because he's hitting the rookie wall badly. You know, he had a little bit of a good game versus Thunder. Mm-hmm. But when a veteran like Fox can't find his shot, when Castle was fouling out of the game, you know, picking silly fouls up, his shot is not falling, that's concerning. Now, they did have an okay game, Castle and Harper versus OKC, but Fox, 9 shot attempts, that's not good. That's not good. When they need him to get going to avoid a beatdown, he didn't get going. And overall, too, collectively, they just been having issues on offense. What's been saving them lately has been their defense. That's what saved them in Boston. But it's not just the guards that can't find the shot. It's everybody. And there's Harrison Barnes. He can't find a shot at all. Keldon Johnson went 4 for 11 versus the Thunder. So collectively, their offense is sputtering right now. So again, yes, you're right. The sky's not falling because you lose to the Thunder. But what is concerning is their play leading up to that game.
Do you think people are expecting way too much out of De'Aaron Fox? Are they expecting
Yes.
former
Yes.
All-Star
Yes.
De'Aaron Fox to come through those doors
Yes.
and be like that with the Spurs? I mean, it's not like, San Antonio needs him to be a 25-plus scorer, 27-plus scorer a night. He's got a lot more weapons than what he had in Sacramento. So do you think the De'Aaron Fox hate is fair for De'Aaron? Because for me personally, he's doing fine. I'm not expecting him to come in and, get that 27 a game and be the De'Aaron Fox from Sacramento. I'm expecting to come in and being the point guard that the Spurs need, which I feel like he's doing.
No, I think it's fair that he's getting some pushback from the fan base. The team gave him a lot of money over the offseason.
Okay.
They invested that money into him, and who knows if that may strap him later on, but that's a bridge I'll cross later. And also, too, he was anointed Wemby's co-star, the guy who's going to step up if somebody's having an off day, or he's going to bring you those double-figure scoring as much as consistently as he can, as they saw in his Sacramento days. And also, too, when the team is sputtering, you don't see him rise his game up. You saw some of that this season, but again, hasn't been consistent enough. So no, I'm with Spurs fans. I don't understand. I get why they're griping at him.
So Spurs fans that say, well, he was supposed to be Wendy's second man. He's supposed to do this and that. I mean, he's the second leading scorer on the team. So
yes, but if you look at the last few games, he's been not looking like the second best player on the team.
No, he hasn't. I mean, the last couple of games, he hasn't. He still leads the team in steals at 1.3 steals a game, averaging 20 points a game, second leading scorer in the game. Do you think it's just because of his bad play that we tend to forget that he's had less bad games compared to more good games? All of the record, 27 and 13. I mean, he has impacted a lot more of those games than he has not impacted.
Yeah, but it's what have you done for me lately with Spurs fans? It really is. And that's what have you done for me lately is nothing, according to Spurs fans. So there's that. But again, it's not just De'Aaron Fox. And by the way, he did address that situation after the game versus Minnesota. He said that he's aware of the slump. He just said, hey, it's just one of those things that it happens to everybody at some point in the season. It's happening to the Spurs right now. But again, just overall, they don't look like they got the juice on that court. It's like they don't look like they have that will to win. The Thunder wanted to win that game. The Knicks, as we saw the few meetings this year, they wanted to beat the Spurs. I think I don't see that of late. Not to say that they don't have it. I don't see a killer instinct of late right now. It could be, and I really firmly believe this, it is just how horrific their schedule has been to start this season. You get out of the New Year's break, and what is it? Back to back, back to back, back to back. Home, away, home, away, home, away. I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous. And then it feels like they already did their road trip already, and they haven't yet. That's what it feels like. So I think that is catching up with them too. And also too, the rotations have been all over the place. Is Wemby starting? Yes. He's off the bench? Yes. Is he out? Yes. Devin Vassell, he's out. Okay, who's stepping up? So the list goes on and on. So he's dealing with. So you mentioned the coaching staff are dealing with a lot of this season as far as just having player health, and I think cumulatively it kind of caught up to them already.
Yeah, and going to the halfway point, because we're 40 games into the season.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to be at the halfway point, 41 games in the season, and you got the Spurs fans out there asking, why can't we win? Why? And I'm thinking, you always hear it at the end of a loss, like we need to trade this guy, we need to trade that guy. We paid De'Aaron Fox so much money. Why is he only being the second best scorer on the team? Why can't he do more than this? Why can't he do this? Or you go to Mitch Johnson. Mitch is the absolute worst coach in the NBA. We need to get rid of him. He doesn't know this. He doesn't know. Little secret, in case you didn't know, that they are the third best team in the league. They have the third best record. Now, they are tied with Denver, but they hold the tiebreak over Denver. So they are technically the third best team in the league. How can you blame a coaching staff? Let me put it this way. How can you blame a rookie coaching staff and say, you guys don't know what you're doing because we don't want the third best record in the league. We want the first best record in the league. I mean, it seems like Spurs fans may have been happier when they were bottom feeders in the league.
Well, because it's been a while since the Spurs had some success, and here we are. They're having a lot of success this season. Look, it's just, in my opinion, Rudy, it's just a bump in the road. I think we're going to look back at this point of the season, maybe you're on All-Star break or beyond, might have a chuckle about it. Like, oh my God, can you believe we're upset that the Spurs longest losing skid was 2? That's it. And there's just Spurs fans are going to Spurs fans. They're fans. It's short for fanatic. They're fanatical about the team. So it just comes with the territory. I am not too concerned with their play of late. Excuse me. What is just concerning me is just that energy, that focus. I mean, even Mitch Johnson recently said, I think it was against the Minnesota Timberwolves, saying, or the Thunder, or it was one of the losses where he said, sure, maybe the third period is where I fell apart, but his concern was how they started in the first. And you're not starting games with that right attitude, energy, mentality. That's what's worrying me. We'll see. I don't believe the sky is falling, though. Bucks is ahead. They have a 3-game homestand. Those back-to-back. That's over. Do they have back-to-backs ahead? Yes, they do, but not what we saw coming out of the New Year's break. So all in all, no, I think the Spurs will be fine. It's just one of those things that are part of the dog days of the NBA season. It's too long. It's just a little too long.
Halfway point. I mean, they're sitting 27-13. Obviously, 41 games is the halfway point. They are on pace right now to win 50-plus games. And for any Spurs fan to say, this is a terrible coaching staff, this guy is playing terrible. You went from 20-plus wins to 50-plus wins right now in a matter of a couple of years. Now, let's take Victor's rookie year, 22 wins. Obviously, didn't change from the previous year. But you bring in Castle, you saw the tick start to go up a little bit. Now you're on pace to have a 50-plus win season. And again, fans are calling for this. Again, I think, do you think maybe it's because they have more championship aspirations and that's why they get so mad? I mean, for one, I've never said they're going to win a title this year. I was asked recently about if they were contenders. I said, yeah, they're contenders, but they're not going to win the NBA title. If they do, hey, more power to them. But do you think that Spurs fans are feeling like, well, I get the feeling because it's Timmy and Manu all over again and Tony, we're winning. We expect this to happen. But in Timmy's entire career, he only won 5 titles. So, I mean, it's always
never back-to-back either.
Never back-to-back. So again, I guess the biggest thing that we have to take away from all this is that you're on pace for 50-plus wins. Who do you blame more, players or coaches?
I blame the injury bug. I blame the schedule.
Okay.
I blame, I guess, that old rookie wall for Harper. There's a lot of blame to go around. Even I blame the vets. Harrison Barnes, he just vanished of late. Keldon, what happened against that game versus the Thunder? I think you cannot pinpoint one thing. Oh, Mitch Johnson, what are you doing? Oh, Sean Sweeney, your defense, that you're all this and that on that end of the court. No, I just think collectively this team just hit a wall. I think they hit a wall already, and we're seeing it right now. Mitch Johnson even acknowledged it, saying, he doesn't want to put an excuse, but he mentioned the back-to-back situation. He mentioned the injury bug. He mentioned how players have been in and out. I blame all that. And again, fans have a right to fan however they want. If they got clubbed by 50 versus Thunder and it's still roses, and it's them for the fan that way. Or calling for the firing of Mitch Johnson, it's their right to do that. But I think overall, it's just because the expectations have been set so high. The Spurs talk about it too. Wembyama said, "We have high standards." Keldon Johnson, "We have high standards." They repeat that phrase over and over again. Yeah, so live up to them. And right now, in this segment of their season, they're not living up to that.
Yeah, they really are living up. Would I get a lot of feedback or pushback if I said I'm blaming more of fans that are feeling that the sky is falling because they've lost back-to-back games and don't realize that the Spurs have only lost back-to-back games and they've never gone beyond a 2-game losing streak. It's just more of expectations. But I get what you're saying on the injury bug. We've only seen maybe 8 games of a full healthy Spurs roster. And during those 8 games, I've got to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure out of 8, they probably won 6 or 7 of them. They had a really good record. So I think it's time to chill. It's halfway point. The Spurs are on a 3-game homestand now. And it's 3 games that, knock on wood, they should win in these 3 games. So it should be a nice little 3-game winning streak. Don't want to, jinx anything, but it should start with Milwaukee. I think what Jeff said is exactly true. It's just kind of players hitting a little bit of a wall. Maybe Dylan hitting the rookie wall, but he bounced back out of that. Victor maybe trying to play more on the ball. In OKC, Jeff, Victor seemed to go Luka Doncic at some points and just start to dribble the ball and do something with it. And I'm like, you don't want to put your teammates at 4 seconds left in the shot clock to where you got to make a move. It just seems like ball movement has also kind of come down a little bit. So not time to panic. It's halfway point.
We also saw that too from Keldon Johnson in one play during the Thunder where he just held onto the ball. And I was like, what are you doing, Keldon?
Yeah, there's no ball movement. I mean, at the beginning of the season, the Spurs were actually playing what similar was a beautiful game that we used to see. You saw ball movement. They were putting guys in the right spot. The guys were just getting easy looks. You saw Barnes was just on fire. Has he gone down a little bit? A lot.
Yes,
but
a lot.
Could it be just, he's not getting as comfortable looks as he was in the beginning? I have no idea, but nonetheless, man, All-Star break is coming up pretty soon here. The trade deadline, we'll talk to you maybe next week about the trade deadline. That's coming up here very, very soon. Spurs fans, why can't we win? I think it's all in your head. That's all we're going to say. It's all in your head. They are the 3rd best team in the league. They are winning, on pace to win 50-plus games. It is Jeff Garcia, Rudy Campos Jr. Take a quick commercial break. On the way back, we've got the sports answer question of the week for Jeff. And Spurs fans, did you realize you may have an unbreakable record? What record is it? We'll be back here on the Sports Answer.
In San Antonio, your business deserves more than noise. It deserves to be seen. SEO, social media, digital ads. If you're not showing up, you're losing customers. At Salem Surround San Antonio, we design digital strategies that work, from web design and SEO to social, podcast, and display ads. Real tools. Real results. Let's amplify your brand. Start today with a free digital presence evaluation. Salem Surround San Antonio, your brand, everywhere it matters.
So, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs Chisme. Nine, por favor.
All right, we are back on a Spurs Chisme edition of the Sports Answer.
Who did that for you? Who made that for you?
I will not disclose that. I will not disclose that. Maybe off the air, I'll disclose it. Spurs Chisme segment here for myself and Jeff Garcia on the Sports Answer, Salem Surround, 210-526-3635. Give them a call today to get that brand moving forward. Jeff, we got our last segment here, and it's a sports question that was asked, and I'm going to bring it up to your attention. Let's bring up the graphic now. And again, I don't think Spurs fans realize that they have an unbreakable record. So, of course, we all know Coach Pop, 1,390 regular season wins. And it was asked, is that an unbreakable record, not in the NBA, but an unbreakable record in sports? My answer to that question when we talked about it was yes. Doc Rivers is the next closest at 1,170 wins or something like that. So he still needs a few more years. Do we see Doc Rivers winning 50 games in 4 years? Probably not.
No.
So I think that'll be pretty safe to say. The next guy comes up is Eric Spoelstra. He was at 900 and something wins, maybe close to 1,000. But again, Spoelstra would have to go 50 plus wins in the next 6 years. Who knows what the landscape, with that. Steve Kerr has mentioned a lot of other guys, but a lot of these guys just aren't going to be in coaching long enough, I feel, because there's a lot of stuff happens in the NBA. But before we go dive into it a little bit more, your thoughts. Is this an unbreakable record that sports history will never see broken?
I think so. My dark horse candidate is Dagenhart out of OKC, but that core will have to stay together for quite a while to rack up, the wins that he needs to catch Pop. But outside of that, it's going to be rough. I know before we chatted, I mentioned Spoelstra, and you said, well, maybe not, because that record again, Pop's win total versus Spoelstra, it's a big gap still.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think this record will stand. I think it ranks. Is there another unbreakable record with the Spurs when it steals? Is it Alvin Robertson?
Oh,
Does he have
single season steals record.
Yeah, that's 2 right there. The Spurs.
Yeah. That will never ever be broken. I'm sorry. So NBA recently, NBA records, Alvin Robertson's steals record never be broken. I have Coach Pop's winning record never be broken. Other things are John Stockton's assist record never be touched. John Stockton's steals record will never be touched. 100 points in a game. Today's NBA, Jeff, you could probably see a 100-point game. I think that's very possible.
Yeah.
But as far as Spurs goes, I'll throw another one. You'll never see another NBA team have more than one player with a quadruple double.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
That record as the Spurs would never be broken because they have 2 with Robinson and Alvin Robertson. So, those guys, and you mentioned Mark Daigneault. The problem with that is that you have to keep Chet, Shea, Jalen Williams collectively together.
Yep.
Are they going to be able to pay those 3 guys for the entirety of their career? No. You're talking supermax.
They would have to take so many pay cuts.
Pay cuts, exactly. Now, they're getting taste of victory. They've got an NBA title. They could get another few NBA titles. Who's to say Jay's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go over here. I want to play close to home now. I want to play here. So I'm going to go over here and collect this money. It's so hard to keep a team together like the Spurs did for so long and have that kind of success. And that's why I think it's unbreakable. Now, someone said, well, it could be broken. Maybe Doc Rivers breaks it. Okay, I give you that. Maybe he does break it. But then go to the other side of it. Pop will have the all-time record because it's one coach, one team. Doc Rivers is bounced around everywhere. That's where I think eliminates a lot of other competition.
Yeah, I think this would be one of the untouchable records for sure. Absolutely. It would be, I don't even know, say decades from now. Some young up-and-coming coach, just really on the scene, into the right situation, the right roster, the right bosses that can shell out some bucks to keep teams around. That's how much, needs to go into for a coach who would likely could break Pop's record. So much has to fall in place. Is SJ willing to pull a Tim Duncan and be like, you know what? Thunder brass, take some of my money and give it to players to surround me with. We're going to win another title. Tim Duncan did that. David did the same thing too. You can't tell me that Mono could have gotten a bag if he wanted to leave San Antonio and go to a different team. So he deferred on getting a lot more money. So it's going to, it would have to be so special. It'll basically have to be Spurs Golden Era version 2.0 sometime in the future for any team to do what the Spurs did and what Pop did with that record. But no, I think it's going to be unbreakable. Going to be so. What about the Euro League? What if we look just basketball in the world? What in FIBA? There's got to be a coach out there, right?
I think there's got to be a coach out there. I'd have to dive into that a little bit more, but Euro League probably so. You probably have a coach out there that definitely has the most wins. And you were talking about Pop's record not being broken, and you said decades. I mean, man, to think of a young coach could come in to the league. I mean, think about it. We're talking after Tim Duncan was drafted to go on that run of playoff streak. I mean, I don't even know if that could possibly be touched with that kind of streak. I mean, injuries happen in today's game, so the chances of your best player getting injured are probably up there. I mean, you see with Wemby. Wemby's not available a lot of times throughout the season. So, I mean, injuries do play a key factor in it. But yeah, I mean, this is a unbreakable record. I don't think any NBA head coach will ever have an opportunity to break it. I seriously don't. I mean, that's the remarkable thing about Coach Pop was that he took over for Bob Hill, which a lot of people were mad at. Let's go back in time. A lot of people were upset that Coach Pop took over for Bob Hill, and then he went on a ridiculous streak, man. So
has Bob Hill ever talked about what happened in San Antonio?
I want to say yes, he did.
He did. Okay.
I throw out the TikTok word out there. I thought I saw one time about Bob Hill discussing what happened in San Antonio, and especially saying that it was unfair. What happened? I mean, he was down. Sean Elliott, David Robinson.
Yeah.
I think Dominique Wilkins, for you old heads out there, was the leading scorer for the Spurs at the time. So yeah, it just went through a whole lot, and Bob Hill just felt like he got the short end of the stick there. So
yeah,
I gotta find it. If I find it, I'll have to bring that up here so you and I can discuss that. But nonetheless, yeah, one of the unbreakable records, probably the biggest unbreakable record for Coach Pop in the NBA, winningest coach of all time. Your sports question made it on here for the sports answer. Jeff, Locked On Spurs, man. It's for everydayers. It's every single day we get episodes. You pay me at least $2.34 million come on Locked On Spurs. That's why I'm on there weekly. It's not because the fans like me. They hate me, but give everybody an idea of what's going over at Locked On, man.
Yeah, it was really hurt. As we said right now, he'll be on an episode of Locked On Spurs this week. By the time this drops, maybe it's today. But yeah, so many things we're doing there, whether that's game previews, talking about players being out. We did our midway point of the season report with Devin Brown, former Spur. It's all there. And by the way, he does answer the question that some Spurs fans have asked. Would Tim Duncan have tolerated Keldon Johnson and his nonstop energy? Find out what Devin had to say about that, because he played with Tim Duncan. And in his opinion, how Timmy would have handled a guy like Keldon Johnson in that locker room. So it's all fun there. Then we have the Spurs, Locked On Spurs squad shows, like roundtables with me, Devin, and Casey Vieira. And then we have post-game shows. It's all there. Just go on YouTube, Locked On Spurs. If you're going to go to kens5.com/Spurs, that's where I do my beat writing about the Silver and Black for Kens 5 TV. You get articles and exclusive chats I've had with, oh my goodness, like Julian Champagny this year, Luke Cornett this year. I got some on deck with Thiago Splitter. I did one with Blake Wesley. You get so many exclusive chats there. It's all there, kens5.com. Or more importantly, just follow me on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone.
There you go. It's Jeff Garcia. And you mentioned, Vassell with Tim Duncan and all that great stuff. But is Keldon to Devin what Malik Rose was to Tim?
It's Keldon is to Devin what Malik Rose was to Tim. Oh, I don't think so.
No? Who's the better player, Malik Rose or Keldon Johnson? Who's more valuable?
Keldon.
Keldon's more valuable?
I think so.
Malik had those games, man. He had those seasons too, where he was making a massive difference.
But I want to see Keldon, how he will thrive, because Malik had a generational player with TD. Keldon has Wemby. I want to see how that develops.
I noticed you didn't say Wemby's generational. I'm proud
of
you.
I did that for you because I know you hate that word. You still not there yet? You still not there? Say he's generational?
I'm still not there. Not there. Wait, that could be a whole nother sports question. What is generational?
That is a good sports question. Yeah.
We'll have to get you back on that. But no, I'm still not there on Wemby being generational. Maybe one day I'll be there. But
okay. If he had done the things you want him, would he be generational right now for you? Or is it still too soon? Just thinking he's into his 2.5 seasons by now.
So to answer that, could he still be generational? Yes, he could still end up being a generational talent.
Okay.
What I wanted to see was the dominance he had coming in lead to wins. Because I mean, again, David Robinson came in, turn an entire franchise around.
Mm-hmm.
David had better rookie stats than Wemby outside of 3-point shooting. I mean, it's the notes are right there, the facts are right there. So I think that's what I'll say on that. Could he still be generational? Yes, he could be.
Peak Robinson versus peak Wemby, if he gets there, or does Robinson wreck him, or does Wemby?
Peak
really?
Robinson. Yeah, peak Robinson.
I think Robinson will have to use his physicality, just that muscled up frame he had.
Well, for fans that are going to see this and say, "Well, why did you take Robinson over Wemby?" Robinson was just as quick as Victor. So, I mean, yeah, Victor can dribble the ball out of the air out of the ball. But David used to defend guards on the perimeter. So, I mean, yeah, go look at the MJ tape. I mean, there's tapes of David guarding guards in the perimeter because he had to. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. 7'5", 6", whatever he is now. I get it. He can dribble the ball. He can go between his legs. He can pull up for threes. He can do this. He can do that. I totally get that. But when you've got a guy just as quick like David Robinson
and smart,
physical, and very smart high basketball IQ, yeah, it's definitely going to be a great matchup. But I'll take David, man. What would you take, David or Wemby?
I know some fans are going to be like, well, you're taking Wemby now because he's not even peak yet. We don't know what he can be. But using the sample size we have right now with Wemby, I'm going to go with a 5-0. I think 5-0 is just going to out-muscle him. Just out-muscle him. Think about it. Robinson had to deal with brutes, Shaq, Ewing, Malone, Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah, Hakeem Olajuwon just making him look foolish down
there. Does Dream wreck Wemby?
Yeah, come on, man.
Like bad, like embarrassing.
You're talking top 10 basketball player of all time, Hakeem Olajuwon. Yeah, I mean, definitely.
I think he would have Wemby just like befuddled. Like, what am I doing wrong?
What is it? The dryer spin or whatever they call it. Where
spin cycle.
It's spin cycle. There you go. He's just putting Wemby in the spin cycle. I mean, nobody could stop the dream shake. No matter, you knew it was coming, but you could not stop it. You could not figure out which way he was going. So, yeah, I don't think it's like he has like 40 points on Wemby, but I mean, he's putting up numbers on Wemby. I think the blocks.
Wemby would have to really, really, really stretch that forward with Dream.
Yeah, but another guy that could defend on the perimeter was Dream. I mean, him and David was quicker, but Dream could still defend on the perimeter. Wemby, okay, so Wemby, and God, New York, you're a former New York guy. Knick fans are going to hate me, but I think Wemby would match up well with Patrick Ewing.
Really? See, I think Ewing would body him too. Just body the bleep out of him.
The physicality for Ewing is there. I think if Wemby was to go perimeter, I think he has the advantage against Patrick Ewing. But if he's playing more in the post, I think that favors Patrick Ewing. But I give him more of a shot against Patrick Ewing than I would a guy like Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson. I think Wemby struggles with a guy like Alonzo Mourning, but I also think he dominates a guy. Well, I think he dominates the guy. I think he has success against Dikembe Mutombo, one of the best defenders.
I see that. I can definitely see that.
So it's not saying he's bad. It's not saying he's the best, the worst, or anything like that. It's just I think against certain players, he's able to. I think Wemby, he does really good.
Wemby's 3-shot will have to be on versus any of those guys. I'm just on.
Perimeter wise, yeah, he'd have to be able to be knocking down perimeters. But then again, does he struggle against Jokic? I mean, we've seen.
No, well, I think Wemby's admitted. Hey, Wemby has admitted that Joker gives him fits.
Yeah, and
gives him trouble.
But Joker's as fast as Patrick Ewing, maybe, or Dikembe Mutombo.
So fast as a freaking snow cone.
Yeah, I mean, he is not a very quick guy out there, but his basketball IQ
is just off the charts.
Is Magic Johnson like? So I mean, yeah, that's going to be a good one. A whole episode dedicated to Wemby and all the guys that he could or could not dominate, but we'll get dragged through the mud because we're not calling him generational. At least I'm not calling him generational.
Well, you've noticed too the major sports media outlets, every time they mention generational Wemby, they don't say it anymore. They've kind of cooled off on that. If you listen very carefully, they just say, and then there's Wembanyama, who is likely to be the face of the league. someone who can be the next. Notice that. I noticed that a lot lately.
Yeah, probably because they watch me on my shows. That's why.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. That's why we love watching the Sports Answer.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. But you can catch Jeff on Locked On Spurs every single day, Monday through Friday. You can also catch him here from time to time on the Sports Answer. Appreciate Jeff joining us here for the Sports Answer. Shout out to Salem Surround 210-526-3635, proud sponsors of the Sports Answer. Go to Answer Now TV, hit that subscribe button so you can get this show and many other shows part of Answer Now TV. Do that today, guys. If you have the sports questions, we've got the Sports Answers for you. We'll see you guys next time.
You've been listening to The Sports Answer with Rudy Campos Jr. Today's show was brought to you by Salem Surround San Antonio, helping local businesses grow with digital strategies that work. Visit salemsurround.com/San Antonio to learn more. We'll see you next time on The Sports Answer.